Welcome back, grappling fans, and thank you for joining me again today. It hasn't been very long now, has it? You cheeky little grappler, you. I just can't stay away. So this is the new format where you're trying to pump out more videos, bring you more content. Like I said, there was a little bit of a lull because I was making my new website and my new YouTube account and all of that. So please go subscribe. I know I've been pushing it over the last whole 2 videos. I think you guys can hang on and check it out and support me. So yes, if you do want to see more videos, go check it out. It'd be awesome. I really appreciate it so much, and it does help me a lot. I want to bring you as much good and new content as possible, keep you guys informed, keep you in the know, and keep working on your grappling. So we're going to be having some technique videos, and we're going to be doing UFC coverage and all that fun stuff. So follow me on Twitter and check out the new site, www.bjjbreakdown.com. Also, youtube.com/ww... No, that's not right. youtube.com/bjjbreakdown. Go check it out. Check out the Verbal Tap Cast as well. I believe it's verbaltapcast.com. I got a link in the description below for those guys, and also if you're on mobile, I will have all the links below. Check it out. I did also my podcast with them on the Metamorphs, and I will be with them for the UFC as well. So check that out. But today's match is going to be with Keenan Cornelius, and this was at the Worlds as well. So that brings us to our next segment once again, which will be as the Worlds turns.
Look, I know this is awkward for you, Allie, but it doesn't change the way I feel. Please come back to the yacht with me.
As the
Worlds
turns.
And let's get this one started. This one just started. There hasn't been any guard pulling or anything. And here Keenan is in the blackie, and he just jumps right there for a flying triangle. Keenan, always exciting. And here he goes. He was trying to get underneath right there, but now he's trying to get the De La Hiva going. His opponent doing an excellent job keeping these grips here and keeping this knee shoved into Keenan's hamstring, which is a good idea if you're a passer. Keenan goes upside down, and now he is in an excellent position to try to take the back. Here he's going to come up like a leg drag with the knee in between, and you can either go to the back or you can come up and pass just with that leg drag position. But his opponent trying to stay up, I don't know if this is necessarily the best thing for him, although he does have a good grip on the pants there, nearly shooting the moon, if you will. Sorry about that pun, but anyway, Keenan is trying to get across the leg right there, and if his opponent does try to stay up a little more, then it's nearly assured that Keenan, especially as good as he is, will take the back. So it's better to keep your hips a little bit more on the ground if you can, but definitely some type of grip where you can control the hips a little bit is always a good thing, right? Because the hips are the most important thing in jiu-jitsu, and that's what he's trying to do. A lot of times what happens off of these scrambles, if they can't take the back or come up, then they'll end up in 50-50, which he nearly is, but he's got the knee across, so this is really more of a leg drag. Really good position for Keenan. His opponent is trying to stand up, and here Keenan's going to jump right to the back, and he's trying to get that seatbelt grip in, and he does with one hook. He comes off to the side. Oh my goodness, and he's got his opponent's arm trapped there, but then his opponent gets it out. Keenan on your back within the first couple of minutes of the fight. That is not a good thing for you, and I don't know what's happening. The ref is stopping it. I know I mentioned this before, but there was a lot of ref interference in this year's Worlds. Some terrible reffing. I'm not sure if this ref was a part of that, so my apologies to him if I'm mentioning that in this fight. But yes, it was very heavily reffed, over-reffed. Like I said, the refs at best should just be pretty transparent. You shouldn't know when they're doing their job. So you definitely will know when they're not doing their job, and you knew a lot at this Worlds, but the ref gets it started again, so my rant is over. And now Keenan locks up the body triangle here. His opponent switching it to the far side, which is a good idea because you can put pressure on the ankle, although someone that's lanky like this and does a body triangle a lot, usually they're not going to be susceptible to that ankle twist. They're going to know how to use it. So I really like to bring it off to the far side. It's not as known of a technique, but it's a much better escape. And then you turn your hips away from your opponent's monitoring leg, and then you swivel them quickly back into the underneath the monitoring leg, and that kind of puts him back in double hooks, and then you can start to escape the back normally. And here Keenan, he has this cross grip here, his opponent trying to keep it off, but this grip is so strong. If Keenan has it and he is able to go for a bow and arrow choke, you can choke your opponent right over their own hand like that, so that's not exactly the best. If I'm the guy on the bottom, I really want to put my hand on my face, and I want to crawl it up like a spider walking up the side of your face, and that will bring your elbow into play. Once your elbow gets up there, now the cross grip is not as powerful even in a bow and arrow choke, and you should have enough room to get out of there, but just the hand sometimes can be a little tricky. And there, his opponent's trying to bring Keenan off to the bad side of the body triangle again, and Keenan does switch it up right away, so maybe his ankles are not as flexible as some of the other lanky people that like to throw that body triangle on, so he goes back to the normal double hooks. Here he's pushing on the hip, which is a really good way to move your opponent to the far side if you do have that cross-collar grip. So if you just want to pull them off to the choking side, which is always recommended, you generally want your opponent to be on the choking side, and here his opponent is on the underhooking side, and that's better for escaping for your opponent. He tries to roll and escape, but Keenan's staying on his back like glue here, and he's got the knee across. If his hips fall off, though, which they didn't, his opponent rolled. I believe if his opponent would have turned instead of rolled, then he might have been able to get Keenan's hips off, because Keenan has a lock on his opponent here, but it's a cross on the outside, and as long as he keeps that hip into play right there, he keeps it over the hip, then it's going to be a very powerful back retention. But if it slides off for a second, then you can roll away from it and just start turning into your opponent again. But now he has the double hooks, and this is going to be very tough. He has, I believe he has his opponent on the choking side now, as this top arm should be an underhook for Keenan. His opponent is trying to squirm out, but not able to do so. Keenan is right on top of this guy. He is not moving, and that is typical Keenan. You do not want this guy on your back. You don't want him on your front either, which probably sounds worse now that I've said that out in the open. But yes, Keenan is on the back, and it looks like he is really keeping this underhook good. He might try to come up here and go to a hidden arm choke, but his opponent is turning to the turtle, which can sometimes not be good as well, because then the top person can flatten them out. But Keenan here, I'm not sure what he's going for. He does have that underhook. Oh, and I think what he's going for, he's got this arm around to this side. Yeah, he's going to try to do it. No, not yet. I think his arm's being held up over here by his opponent. But I think what he's going for, just like we saw in the last video, surprisingly enough, I told you it was a very popular technique right now because it's excellent. It's very underrated. If you're playing in the gi, this arm in Ezekiel, and there he goes for it right there. He's trying to grab fingers inside the sleeve. And now that he's doing this, I definitely remember he gets the fist in there. You want to sit them generally on your knee right here, and then you want to bend to the side. Here, Keenan is not able to do that. His opponent comes off to the side, and his opponent, that's actually a good strategy. His opponent keeps coming off to the side to try to get out of this, and it does take some of the leverage off. Keenan able to just work it out there, and you see he gets the tap anyway, despite not having the best of leverage. You don't want to extend away with that arm in Ezekiel. You want to keep them close. You want to sit them on your thigh and just lean to the north side. Lean your pressure onto them. But Keenan still, once you get it in that deep and it's cutting off the blood for that long, that still will cut it off, and you will get the tap eventually, or they will go to sleep. So good job to Keenan, and thank you guys for watching again. If you haven't, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I just did it. It's been done. It's already been baratin. So yes, go check it out. youtube.com/BJJBreakdown or www.bjjbreakdown.com. Check it out. Subscribe to me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, every other social media thing you can think of. I should have links to all of that. I think it's, yeah, it's in the upper right-hand corner, or you can get to it off of my YouTube site. So I appreciate it. I will see you guys soon, and thank you for visiting and grappling. So I will talk to you later. Lates.